Keenan greetings. Are you tired of eating salads, but you know you need your daily dose of greens? Well, stay tuned to this video. I have a solution for you. Yes, don't we all get tired of eating salads, right? They become boring. You're looking for other stuff to put on them, additional toppings, and you start off really good on the weekend and you go to the store, you buy this huge container of greens and you're going to make salads every day and you have your toppings, whether it's tuna or chicken or whatever it is, and you don't even get through with the whole container. And spring mix and spinach is the worst, right? Because then it starts wilting. So this is something that you can do. It's a way to take some of that potential bad lettuce, spinach, and really do something with it. So this is my green ice cubes recipe that you can use for smoothies. Even plop down inside of water and make a water vegetable drink. Okay, so you take 2 cups of spinach or spring mix, 1 box of coconut water, 2 tablespoons of seamoss gel. If you remember our Ascension fasting series on physical ascension on the podcast, I went into all the glorious benefits of seamoss. I will put a link to that podcast at the end of this video, but just know that it contains 92 of the 102 minerals that are in your body. It's extremely good for you. So the next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of hemp seed and 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Now, I want to say this in case you're wondering, can I use flaxseed oil? I wouldn't, because oil and the actual silicone tray can be slimy after a while, after a couple uses. Even if you're using a silicone mat, right, and you start putting things that have oil in it, it does leave like a slick and slimy residue. So use the flax seeds instead. Now, you can also put in like a teaspoon of matcha. I used maca, M-A-C-A. Okay, matcha is the ceremonial green tea that has so many great benefits for you. But I used maca, which also has tons of benefits, all right? So that's pretty much it, but the options are limitless. I want you to think of it like this. You know how you buy expensive ingredients like beet powder or spirulina or things like that, right? And they're expensive and you don't really get a lot, right, out of them. The package sizes are small. So things like that, this is a good way to put them into these green ice cubes because you can stretch expensive ingredients this way. Also, I've noticed, as I've said, that when I buy big containers of greens like the one that you're seeing in this recipe, it just doesn't matter. I don't care how long the expiration date is, buy before X or Y date, they still start to wilt very soon. All right. So this is a way to kind of get those greens out of those containers and get them into something that will stop that wilting, slimy kind of process. All right. So make these healthy green ice cubes and you can start preventing all that excess spoilage of your greens. Plus, these are, after all, ice cubes, which means that your smoothies will keep cold during the blending process. For example, when you're using a Vitamix, it's a high-speed blender. If you blend things for too long, sometimes they start getting warm, right? Because you can actually take raw ingredients and put them inside of a Vitamix and make soup without even cooking. So these ice cubes keep things cold in case you have a lot of ingredients. You're making big batches, right? And you want to make sure that by the time you finish blending everything, it's cold. So let's get into this, right? This mixture here is going to make 24 individual ice cubes. So that's almost 30 days worth of smoothies. You can drop this down in your smoothie mixture. So the silicone trays, all right, let's talk about those. I did a little shopping online first. I read the reviews and I was not impressed, especially because some of them were like $15 to $20. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not paying $15 to $20 for a covered ice tray. So I went to my local Home Goods and I picked up the two here that you see for $5.99. Excellent deal with a steel reinforcement in the middle so you can carry them around without liquid falling everywhere. And the top and the bottom are both silicone. So $5.99. Now, one of the other things I read online about some of these ice trays is that they produce a chemical smell in the ice cubes. And so after further research, I knew that I wanted a pure silicone ice tray, which means I can put it in the oven up to a certain temperature. Now, these are up to 400 degrees, okay? So this is just like using a silicone muffin pan or a Silpat, right? Literally, the top and the bottom of these can be put in the oven. And so with that being said, when I was ready to make my healthy green ice cubes, I washed and dried the tray and the tops, and then I baked them for 15 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees to avoid any odor transfer. This was a solution that a lot of people said that they used on their silicone ice trays to prevent the tops and the bottoms from picking up odors. All right. The whole purpose of using a covered ice tray is to prevent any of the odors that you have in your freezer from transferring into the ice cubes. Then I was ready to make the cubes. So I put all of my liquid and add-ins into the blender, followed by the greens. And then I blended everything for around 30 seconds. When it was ready, I poured into the trays to freeze. Once frozen, I can do one of two things. I can remove all the cubes and place them in a Ziploc bag, or I can leave them in the trays and remove them one by one when ready to use. As I was looking at this online, it seems as though a lot of people take them out of the trays and put them in the bags. I don't know why. I didn't see a rule for one or the other, but even when I'm freezing things like avocado, bananas, I typically put them in a bag. But what I do first is I'll wrap them in wax paper, okay? And then I will put everything into a Ziploc bag. So I don't know. I'll have to see by the time these get frozen. I'm not sure which way I can go, but I'm just giving you both options here. Be led, use your own preference. All right. So if you think you're going to make these, comment below, let me know. And we'll be using them for all different types of reasons. They're great for when you're busy and you're on the run. If you want to fast and you're drinking water, right? Eating vegetables, you can throw one of these down inside of your water jar and go on about your business. All right. So very versatile, a lot of uses. I want to give a big shout out to Jenny at eatmoreplants.no on IG. She was inspired by Carly at PlantU on IG. So this has been flying around, and you can be inspired by me, right? Make your own. I did not do exactly what either of them did. I kind of did what I know based on my experience. And I know, for example, that coconut water is excellent for my body. So instead of using regular water or almond milk or some juice, I'm going to use coconut water to get the maximum hydration and get all that great potassium and electrolytes into my system. And again, the seamoss gel, all the things I picked, I know work really well for me. So find out what works for you. Let it be your inspiration in terms of what you're going to put into your green ice cubes. All right. Whatever you choose to do it for the glory of God, which is in line with our foundation scripture of 1 Corinthians 10 and 31. Okay, I hope that you enjoy your green ice cubes. Blessings.